Hi, good morning, friends. So, welcome back, and we are entering into a new class. And you remember that we have been studying about agriculture, and we learned about different types of farming. In the last class, especially, we said that there is two types of farming: subsistence farming and commercial farming. So subsistence farming also is divided into different groups. We saw in detail in the last class. So today we shall see about the second type of farming, that is commercial farming. That's what we are going to see today. And you can take in your textbook page number 43. It is about commercial farming. So in commercial farming, crops are grown and animals are reared for sale in the market. So commercial, in the very term commercial, we can understand what are the activities in this type of farming. So people cultivate in a large scale, or they grow animals in large numbers with the purpose of sale, so to make money. So all the subsistence farming, everything is done mainly for one's own use, for the family's use, not for selling and making profit. But the main intention of the commercial farming is to cultivate in large area or grow animals in large numbers and sell them and make money. That is the intention of commercial farming. So in order to sell and make large amount of money or huge amount of money, they need to cultivate in the large areas. So commercial farming is not done in a small plot of land, but it is done in a very high area, high or large plot. That is the speciality of this commercial farming. So let us see the text. So in commercial farming, crops are grown and animals are reared in large area or a large number for sale in the market. So you can underline sale in the market. The main purpose of the commercial farming is to sell in the market and make money. And the area cultivated and the amount of capital used is very large. So since they are going to cultivate in a very large area, they need to have a very large area. And if you are going to cultivate in a very large area, you need a lot of money in the beginning. That is called capital. The money that is needed to begin something, to begin a work. We need capital. For example, we are going to cultivate in a large area. Let us say 100 hectare. So to plow that one, we need to have a tractor. One tractor may not be enough. One tractor alone plowing means it will take long time. So they may need to have 3 or 4 tractors. So to buy that tractors, they need a lot of money. Then you need to employ laborers to plow, to plant, to clean the ground, everything. So many people need to work there. Then we need to buy seed. Lot of seed is required to plant in the 100 hectare area. Then we need to put a lot of fertilizers, and we need to weed out. So workers are required. And when the harvest comes, again we need workers. So till the harvest is over, a lot of work is there. So we need to spend a lot of money. So without money we cannot have any work. We cannot start any work. So that money should be there in our hand. That is called capital. So they need large capital. Then most of the work is done by machines like plowing, harvesting. All these are done by machines. So we need to buy the machine and we need to employ workers to work the machine, function the machine, and so on. Then commercial farming includes grain farming, mixed farming, and plantation agriculture. So under this commercial farming, we have three types. One is grain farming, another one is mixed farming, and another one is plantation farming. So let us see one by one. What is grain farming, what is mixed farming, what is plantation agriculture, and so on. So in commercial grain farming, crops are grown for commercial purpose. So here we cultivate only crop, maybe rice, wheat, other pulses, and so on. So only crops are cultivated in this commercial grain farming. Remember, the only item that is cultivated is grain. So can be variety of grains, can be rice, wheat, or other pulses, oil seeds, and so on. Then wheat and maize are common commercially grown grains. So mostly what they cultivate is wheat and maize for selling. They cultivate wheat and maize. Then major areas where this commercial grain farming is practiced is temperate grasslands of North America. So we are talking not only about Indian case of agriculture, the situation in India, not that alone, but all over the world we are talking about. So this kind of cultivation, the grain commercial cultivation or the crops cultivation, that is mainly done in the grasslands of North America. So in the North America there is a lot of grasslands are there, temperate. Temperate means the temperate region, the near the equator regions, and so the hot regions. And also Europe and Asia. So these are the three continents where this commercial farming is taking place in large scale. That is in Northland, North America, Europe, and Asia. Then these are sparsely populated with large farms spreading over hundreds of hectares. So what is the speciality of this land which is used for cultivation is that the population is very low. These areas which is temperate, the population is very low and the land is so huge, and so a person will be occupying hundreds of hectares of land. Very huge area will be occupied by one farmer and he will be cultivating in that area. So he will be cultivating and getting lot of grain and he will be selling it. And severe winters restrict the growing season and only a single crop can be grown. So this region, this temperate region is affected by severe winter. So only during the summer season they will be able to cultivate. And other time which is too strong winter, always there will be snowfall and so on, and the land they will not be able to cultivate. Even if they cultivate, the snow will fall and everything will die off. So in a year they are able to cultivate only once. So that's why the people are not staying in this region, because it is of severe cold. And therefore this place is free and the farmers who want to do commercial farming, they occupy this land. So that is the speciality of this commercial crop grain farming. Now let us see about mixed farming. What do we understand by mixed farming? So mixed farming in the land is used for growing food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. So mixed farming means we can understand there will be growing of grain as well as animals. So people will be growing animals, maybe sheep, cows, camels. So they will be growing the animals mainly for commercial purpose. So like goat whose hairs are cut in order to make a dress and so such kind of sheep are grown, and for them sheep are there means they need to eat food also, isn't it? So they will be growing fodder grasses, the grass for the animals to eat, or the grain that is meant for animals and so they are not cultivating the grain for feeding the people but to feed their own animals. So their main purpose is to grow animals, and as a food for these animals they also cultivate certain grains. So that's why it is called mixed farming. So they grow animals and they also grow fodder like grass and so on. Then it is practiced in Europe, Eastern USA, Argentina, Southeast Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. These are the countries that are involved in doing this mixed farming. Which are the countries? So in Europe it is there, then in Eastern USA it is there, in Argentina it is there, in the Southeast Australia it is there, in New Zealand it is there, and also in South Africa. So remember the names of these countries who are practicing this mixed farming. Now we come to the third type of commercial planting, that is plantation agriculture. So let's see what is plantation agriculture. So plantations are a type of commercial farming where a single crop of tea or coffee or sugarcane or cashew or rubber or banana or cotton are grown. You can underline that sentence. So what is the commercial plantation? So it is a large area, only one type of crop is planted there, not a variety of crops. So in the grain farming they may be planting different items. They may be planting maize, they may be planting grain, wheat, rice, pulses and so on. But here it is not grain, it is not a grain farming, it is something else. And the large area, because mostly the commercial farming area is very large, and here they cultivate only one single crop, that is the specialty. Maybe if you go to Assam and so you might have seen large areas of tea gardens. If you look from one side we cannot see the other side, like the sea, it is so vast. So that is a plantation farming. So they plant only one item. So tea means only tea will be there. Or if they plant coffee means only coffee plants will be there. Or sugarcane means only sugarcane. Or some people plant banana. All that area will have only banana plants. Or maybe cotton plants. So whatever they want, they plant only one type, not mixing up. A large amount of labor and capital are required. So in order to do this type of farming, plantation farming, what do they need? They need a large amount of capital, and also many people are required. In the tea garden also you might have seen ladies going with a basket plucking the leaves, the tender leaves of the tea plants. So that is modern practice. Nowadays they don't go and pluck one leaf each. They have knife system is there, like scissors, they will be just cutting and taking out, so that they can save a lot of time and so on. So they need a lot of workers. Then the produce may be processed in the farm itself or in the nearby factories. So since they are producing a lot of things, maybe tea leaves or maybe coffee beans or maybe sugarcane or banana, so that it has to be processed. The tea leaf means it has to be processed, it has to be cleaned, it has to be dried, it has to be separated between good one and bad ones. So a lot of processing is there. So they may set up the factory in the garden itself. Otherwise they have to carry and go far away to reach the factory. So they will build the factory in the farm itself, so that they don't have to travel very far. They can save a lot of transportation. Or sometimes they will set it up just nearby. So that is all their choice. What is more profitable, they will be doing it. And the development of a transport network is thus essential for such farming. So since they have to carry a lot of things, if it is tea leaves or coffee beans or banana or sugarcane, it's all except the tea leaves, all the other things are very heavy and the area is very large. And so from where they plug, they have to carry it to the factory. And therefore there should be good roads in the farm. So through the farm, the tea garden, and so you might have seen lot of roads are there. The vehicle, especially the tractor or other vehicle, they will be able to go everywhere in the garden to carry things. So they have to develop very good roads. So if it is a very simple road or very kacha road, if you say, during the rainy season it will be very slushy and the vehicle will not be able to go through. It will get stuck up there. So they need to maintain a good road. That is very important for them to carry on their work. Otherwise they will be suffering and so on. Then let's see what are the things they plant. So the major plantations are found in the tropical regions. So the places where they practice this plantation agriculture is the tropical regions of the world. The tropical, that is between two tropics. You know, the earth has got so many latitudes, isn't it? So the line that is going up is longitude, and the line that is going in parallel to the equator. Equator is in the middle of the earth. The line that is going in the middle is dividing the earth into two: northern hemisphere on top and southern hemisphere downside. And the line that is going in the middle is called equator. So above the equator another line is there, that is called Tropic of Cancer. And below the equator there is another line that is called Tropic of Capricorn. So the place between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Cancer, that is called tropical region. So this place experiences very good sunshine. The highest amount of sunshine is received in this tropical regions. So this plantation agriculture is also taking place in this tropical region. So what do you understand? That people have chosen this tropical region for plantation agriculture. That shows that these plants, they require good sunshine and good rainfall. So the tropical region, they receive good rain and good sunshine. So that is very much essential for the growth of these plants. That's why this cultivation is mainly centralized in this tropical region. So the countries like Malaysia is taking what kind of cultivation? What item are they cultivating? They are cultivating rubber. So a lot of rubber is cultivated in Malaysia. Then coffee in Brazil. The Brazil people, they have chosen the coffee plants to cultivate. Then in India, as I said, we are cultivating tea. The plantation farming that we chose is tea. Then Sri Lanka also is chosen the plantation of tea. So India and Sri Lanka, they have chosen to plant teas. Brazil, they have chosen coffee. Malaysia, they have chosen to plant the rubber and so. So all these are commercial plantation farming. So only one item will be planted in all these regions. No mixing up, no other things. So once again, let us remind ourselves about these three types of commercial farming. One is grain farming. So only crops will be farmed. Only crops will be taken care. Only crops will be planted there. So mostly they cultivate wheat and maize. These are the two major grain farming taking place for commercial purpose. Then we said mixed farming. So mixed farming is done mainly by farmers who are growing animals in large numbers. So when they grow animals, they need a lot of fodder. Fodder means animals' food, grass and other things that they eat. So they need to cultivate this grass. They need to cultivate some of the grain in order to feed the animals. Otherwise, they have to go and buy from others. That will be very expensive. So they themselves cultivate it. So one area they keep for cultivating the fodder for the animals. Another area they cultivate for keep for growing animals. So that is why mixed farming. So they cultivate crops as well as grow animals. And the third type of commercial farming is plantation. So in plantation is a large area where plantation takes place and they cultivate only one crop. It can be tea, or it can be coffee, or it can be sugar cane, or it can be rubber, or it can be banana and so on. So whatever is possible according to that situation, according to the availability, according to the weather, and so they choose what type of crop to be planted there. And for this plantation farming, they need good road to connect every part, nook and corner of the farm. Good road should be there, and they need large capital in order to begin in this work, and they need also a lot of labor. People are required, people are needed to work in this farm and so on. And we said some of the countries where this plantation agriculture is taking place. India is also there, and we have chosen the plantation of tea. We are planting tea as a plantation agriculture. And in Malaysia we saw they are cultivating rubber. In Brazil we saw they are cultivating coffee and so on. Sri Lanka also is like India, they are also cultivating tea. So these are different types of commercial farming. And in the next class we shall see what are the major crops people cultivate, what are the major crops, rice, wheat, all those things we shall see in the next class. So today we are winding up, and in the next class we will meet again. So until then, bye.